Hello friends, welcome to Samo Studies. In this video, we are going to discuss about DAX aggregate function in Power BI. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 types of DAX aggregate function. Let's discuss one by one. Sum is one of the DAX aggregate function. So it evaluates the sum of a column. And what is the syntax? The sum, and it's taking the parameter as a name of the column. So it will going to give the sum of whatever the data that is present in that column. It will return sum of the column. Second is average x. It returns average arithmetic mean of all the number in the column. So suppose we want to calculate the average of a particular column, then we have to use average function. Average, this is the syntax, and it is taking the column name. So whatever the number present in this column, Power BI will take those number and calculate the average of those number and returns back. This is the max. Return the largest value of a column or between two scalar function. So this is a syntax. One is max column name, or max, this is a scalar function. So suppose we have a column and we want to figure it out what is the maximum value of which is present in that column. So we need to use max function, and in the parameter just provide the column name. Suppose we have some scalar function, and whatever the output the scalar function is returning, based on those output, if you want to calculate what is the maximum value, then we need to use max, but in the parameter we need to provide all those scalar functions. Another is min. It returns the smallest value in the column or between two scalar function. So suppose we want to figure it out what is the minimum value of in a particular column, we need to use min function and provide the column name. What Power BI will going to do, it will take all the values from the column and it will return the minimum value. If we have a two scalar function and we want to figure it out which is the minimum one at the runtime, then we need to use min function, and in the parameter we need to pass two scalar functions. Another one is count. So count the number of cells in a column that contains the number. So suppose we want to figure it out what is the total number of uh, records which are available in a particular column, then we need to use count. What the signature of the count function? Count, and it will going to take the column name. So what it will going to Power BI will going to do, Power BI will look into the column which is provided here, and it will count all the records which is present in that column. One is count distinct. Count distinct, the number of a distinct value or the unique value in the column. So suppose we have a requirement that in a column there are millions of records are there which contain duplicates, but we want to count only the distinct or unique values which are present in that particular column. Then we can use count distinct function. So this is the signature of count. This is the signature of distinct count. It is taking the column name. When Power BI encounter this column name, it will going to calculate the distinct count of records which present in this column. One is count rows. Count rows, number of rows in a specified table or a table definition by expression. So whenever there is a requirement that we need to figure it out what is the total number of rows in a column, or what is the total number of rows of an expression, ultimately the expression will be converted into the table. Then we can use count row function, and this is the syntax of count row function. It takes the name of the table, and when Power BI encounters this table name, it will going to calculate what is the total number of rows and it will return back. In this exercise, we are going to use this data model. If you want to understand the data model, then please watch video number 12 in this playlist. So what we are doing here, we are just creating a measure, and here we are just using the aggregate function. We are going to use two aggregate function for demonstration. This is a distinct count, and we are just counting AP customer ID. So whatever the distinct value which is present in the customer ID, Power BI will look into it and calculate as a count and return back in this measure. One is total employee. This is the count row. So here what we are doing, whatever the total number of rows which is available in this table, with the help of a count row function we want to calculate, and the output will be available in this measure. And when we are going to use the KPI of both distinct count and row, the output will be looks like that. So let's do this exercise in Power BI. Let me create a measure. Measure. Let me just AP. Okay, let me just cancel it. Let me select the proper table. Okay. Let me rename it. AP retail measures table. And here, let me create a new measure. AP. What is the measure name? AP to AP total customer. AP retail total custom total customer count. We are using the aggregate function, then use distinct count, and which table we are just counting? AP retail customer lookup, and we are just using this customer ID. This measure has been created successfully. Now let's create another measure. Measure name is AP retail total row count of employee table. Then what we will going to do, if you want to count the row of a particular table, then we need to use which one? Count row function. Count row function. And what is the parameter it will going to take? It will going to take the name of the table, retail employee lookup. Okay, so both measures has been created successfully. Let's display the output of those measures in KPI. This is the one KPI, and this is the total customer count. If you just see, it will going to give the total customer count. Okay, so we have chosen the wrong visualization. We need to use this card, not KPI. In the card, we have to put this AP total retail customer. This is the one card, and the second card is this is the second card, and and in the second card we can put the AP total row count. So we can see this is the total customer count, and this is the total employee count, and these two cards output, these two cards value is coming from our measures output, which we have written with the help of a aggregate function. One aggregate function we have used count state, and another aggregate function we have used count rows. So let's go to the PPT. So in this video we have discussed the overview of most of the aggregate function which is available in the Power BI, and in the exercise we have used two aggregate function, distinct count and row count. Thank you. If you like content of my video, then please subscribe my channel, like it, comment on it, and press the bell icon to get notification whenever I add videos.